Thank you very much. Just so wonderful to be from Oklahoma. It's so wonderful to be Oklahoma golf. So I want to thank the Oklahoma Golf Hall of Fame Committee for selecting me, and congratulations to the other inductees for this wonderful honor. Yesterday they allowed us to we played 9 holes at Southern Hills. I'm just really glad I don't have to play qualifying anymore at Southern Hills. It was really hard, but it just absolutely beautiful, and the hospitality that was put forward was really wonderful, so thank you so much. I want to talk a little bit about maybe 3 phases of my golf life and who got me started. Well, my mom and dad, obviously. Thank you for that. Gordon Small, he was an assistant pro at Cedar Ridge Country Club. He forced me into a neutral grip. And all the young girls had super strong left-hand grip so they could hit it farther. But because he started me out with a neutral grip, I had good fundamentals and always hit it straight. To Buddy Phillips, the longtime pro at Cedar Ridge. He was the shortest man I've ever been terrified of. He was gruff and he was loving all at the same time. He had his little yellow cart, and he'd take me out on the course, and I just thought he was genius when he said, "You don't tug on Superman's cape, and you don't spit into the wind." And then I realized it was a song. Jim Lucius, the longtime sophisticated pro here at Southern Hills. And I was struggling with my game and felt I needed a change of a teacher, and he took me under his wing, and he wouldn't let me hit anything more than a pitching wedge for 2 weeks. It worked. I do that with some of my players now. I want to thank and appreciate the other pros around the city of Tulsa who allowed me access to their golf courses, really just by picking up the phone. Dave Bryan, Jeff Comby, Sam Meredith, George Glenn. Thank you for that. It's really, truly, that's how you grow the game. The next stage of my golf was excelling in the game. Again, my mom and dad. Thank you for that. Pretty unusual when your mom is your coach and you actually go through a recruiting process. And she always tried to be very neutral and like, do you want breakfast or not today? I see something I wanted in the stores I wanted to buy, and she's like, how bad do you want this? I think it was definitely harder on my mom to be my coach than it was on me. And she was very hard on me, and we laugh now how, usually when a player wins a tournament, they get an exemption to play in the next tournament. Oh, no. Not Coach Dale. She had to prove her point that she was not going to be playing favorites with her daughter. So I finally got in tournaments, and I did pretty well, and I never had to qualify again. But she really taught me lessons. She taught me hard lessons. She taught me how to love this game, how to be passionate about it, how to be passionate about life. And for those lessons, I thank you, Mom. I also want to thank the golf writers. The great golf writers that I remember growing up was with his pipe, Tom Lobaugh. And he'd had his pouch, and he'd pack his pipe, and he'd give the interview, and you're like, whew. But he was just wonderful. He really wrote the story of the emotions on the golf course. Clay Henry, got to see him at the Blessings last year at the NCAA Championship. Our dear friend John Klein, that man can write. He can really tell a story. And our friend here tonight, Ken McLeod, he's been along the journey in my golf career since I can remember. So Ken, thank you so much for all that you do also for the Golf Hall of Fame and the community. So now I've moved into professional golf, and I am trying to figure out what I'm going to do and how I'm going to pay for it all. And there are some very special people in the community, dear friends of my parents, Terry and Suzanne Palmer. We've been with us through thick and thin, and we had about 20 people that agreed to sponsor me. And I remember my mom got me a briefcase and I had a little contract, and I went around the city and was able to sit in front of a lot of great people and ask them for money. And I remember my clever line was, you can't talk to a horse, but you can talk to me. If you want to invest in something, you can talk to me. Whatever. They were like, we're going to give you the money, just be quiet, go away. The person that I really want to thank who kind of created the sponsorship at Williams Telecommunications at the time was my sister. She was a travel agent for Williams, and she didn't get to meet all of her clients, but they loved her. They always asked for Kathy. And so one of her clients, Ed Verzel, he said, we sponsor a dragster, a drag car racer, and we have our little Williams Wiltel logo on the side of the car. And my sister said, well, my sister, she's a professional golfer. Maybe Williams would sponsor her, just on a phone conversation. Things went along, and then the ironic thing is that Keith and Pat Bailey lived one house down from us growing up. We played on their trampoline, we swam in their pool, and this behemoth of a man was mowing his yard in a big white T-shirt with Williams on it, a big W. And to think that man made such a difference in my life. So thank you, Kathy, and your creativeness and supporting me. She did caddy for me one time. Well, she caddied for me for a summer, and it's probably one of my favorite stories. She got lost on the golf course while she was caddying for me. We'll have to talk about that later. She's going to kill me. I also want to thank the University of Tulsa for giving me the opportunity to play collegiate golf at the Division I level, but most importantly, to provide me with a wonderful education. And I have used that education every single day of my life. So I'm very, very proud to be a Golden Hurricane. The other thing that the University of Tulsa provided me was just great friendships with my teammates, my friend Blue that flew in today, the players that I got to coach, the players that I'm coaching now, just the lessons that they've taught me are far more than what I've ever taught them. And so just for every young person that I've been able to coach, it's such an honor. And it's really enriched my life. It's hard to believe that I've been coaching for 20 years. My mom coached for 26 years, and when I first started coaching, I'm like, how in the hell does she do this? And I hope, if I'm lucky, that I'll surpass your 26 years and keep giving hope to young people. I've been at Tulsa. I started there. I was at Arizona State for 13 years, and I'm now at Auburn, War Eagle. The opportunities that golf has given me, the people that I've met, the uniqueness of this game. There was a baseball coach at ASU, and we were hosting the NCAA Regional Championship. And he walks out, and he's like, Coach, what's going on here? You got a little tournament? I'm like, well, it's kind of a big deal, NCAA Championship. He said, but those girls are in that uniform and from that school, and they're actually talking to those girls over there. And I said, well, yeah, that's kind of the neat thing about golf, is that you can be competing directly against somebody, and you can walk off and actually be their friend. He said, God, I never thought about that. What a cool thing. I said, yeah, it's very unique about our sport. So it's something that I absolutely love about it. I cherish it. I love the etiquette of the game. I demand etiquette from my players. My mother demanded etiquette from us. It's just lessons that I've learned and passed on. This is the game of life, and golf is just a perfect example. And so the people in this room that I've gotten to see after so many years, it's just been really, really wonderful. And a lot of people in this room gave me hope. And if you don't have hope, you have nothing. And so thank you so much for giving me hope so I can continue to give hope to others. Good evening.